Hello, welcome once again. This is Teacher Kazembe from Fountain School, grade 7 teacher. Alright, so in social studies, we are still looking at transport and communication. And under transport and communication, last time we met, we looked at communication, which we defined as the sending and receiving of information from one place to another, or from one person to another. Alright, so we discussed different ways or different communication systems that we have, of which we mentioned of the fixed lines, we had the optic fiber cables, and we talked of the radio communication system. The radio communication systems. These are the three major communication systems that we talked about, of which under fixed line we said they use copper wires and then they transmit information in terms of electric signals. Under this one, optic fiber cables, we said they use either plastic or glass because they need to use light. They use light signals to transmit information from one place to another, from one electronic device to another. Talking of the radio communication systems, these we discussed that they use the radio waves for them to transmit information from one place, one electronic device to another. And then they do it with the help of the microwave towers or the satellites. That's what we discussed last time. If you want to know and learn more about this, kindly watch the previous video on the communication systems. Now, in today's lesson, we are now going to look at the road safety. We are going to look at the road safety. That is today's lesson. And under today's lesson, we are going to focus much on the bicycle. We are going to focus much on the bicycle. Okay. So this is a bicycle. A bicycle, by definition, we can say it is simply a machine that in most cases uses the human power. It needs the human power for it to move. It's simply a machine that we use for transport. And we use it under road transport. Now, it has parts. So today's lesson, we're going to focus much on the parts of the bicycle. So when you look at this bicycle here that I've drawn, I've labeled different parts. Now, to start with, we talk of this thing here, the saddle. This is simply the seat on a bicycle where a person whom we call a cyclist is supposed to sit. And we have the handlebar. The handlebar, it is this part here. It acts as the steering, just like a vehicle. This one, the function is just to steer the bicycle, meaning it has to maybe control the bicycle to which direction that you want to go to. We have also this part here that is attached to the handlebar. We have the bell. The function of the bell is simply to alert the people. To alert the people so that they know that there is a bicycle coming in behind. So this is the function of the bell. And from there, we have the major part of the bicycle, which is this whole thing here. It is called the tubular frame. This part of the bicycle is the one that where all these other parts are fixed. So the tubular frame needs to be strong enough so that at least it can carry the load of anything that the bicycle is supposed to carry. So this tubular frame, it's the frame now that where all these other parts are fixed. We also have another part, this part here. It is just around the tires. This one is called the mudguard. The mudguard, we have two. There is one in the front tire. We also have another one at the rear tire here. The function of the mud guard is simply to prevent the mud that are being picked up by the tires from getting to the cyclist, the person who is cycling the bicycle. So, to prevent the mud that is being picked up by the tires to get to you, the person that is cycling, that's the function of the mud guard. It's just to prevent the mud from maybe coming to you. We also have the tires. The tires are simply these parts here. This one, we have two. The one in front, we also have the one at the back here, the rear tire. The function of the tires, they are just there to help you move the bicycle and prevent maybe you from getting in fact, they are the ones that moves the bicycle in other ways. So they are made up of two things. When you look at this, there is an outer part, the outer cover. Inside also, we have what we call the tube. So they need at least air. They need at least air for them to move. So the tube inside is filled with air that allows now the tire to prevent friction of to prevent the friction between the tires and the wheel rim. So we also have inside here what we call the wheel rim. So the whole entire tire, it is made up of different things. There is the tire that is there. Inside we've said there is a tube. We also have inside there a metallic thing, round thing that we are calling a wheel rim. So the wheel rim is the one now which connects the spokes. The spokes are simply small metallic things that you see. They are connected from the rim to this other part of the bicycle. So now from these other parts, we come now to this area here. Under this one, we have these things there. There are two. These are simply called the pedals. And these pedals are the ones where the feet of the cyclist are being pressed on. And it's from this one where, when you push them, they will be able to move the bicycle. So the function is just is where the cyclist presses their feet when they are cycling the bicycle. And they are connected to what we call a cog. The pedals, they are connected to what we call the cog. A cog, we have two types. We have this one and the smaller one behind there, where the chain is being connected. So, what happens here is, there is a crank and we have a cog. There is a bigger cog in front and a smaller one behind. And between the cogs, they are joined by what we call a chain. So when a cyclist is cycling the bicycle, he presses the feet on the pedals and pushes it. When he pushes it, the clog will now try to maybe drag this other cog, hence moving the bicycle forward. So the other cog behind it is attached to to the tire. So as you push this pedal, the chain will try maybe to pull now the cog that is behind, hence pushing the tire and moving the bicycle. Apart from that, we also have another important part of the bicycle that is on top there. This part is called the rear luggage rack. This is called a rear luggage rack because it is at the back. We have cases where some bicycles, they even have a front one in front, a luggage rack. But the one that is very important is the one that is behind here. because this one, it can carry even a person, even other loads that you want to carry, it can carry. Meaning it should be strong enough to carry the load that you want to carry. So these are the most important parts of the bicycle. Remember, this is just a drawing. Therefore, I'm going to show you now a real bicycle so that we understand what we are talking about. Okay, like promised, this is now a real bicycle in front of us. So now, this is what I called what? A saddle. It is where a cyclist now sits. This is a saddle, and this here is a tubular what? Frame. But when you look at this and the one that was on the drawing, they look different. Yes, the frame can be in different shapes. You will see bicycles that have this type of frames, and others that have the frame which has just a straight part here. So this can be in different what? Parts. And here, this is what I called a pedal. This thing here, we have two, like I mentioned, because we have this one here and the other one is here. This is where now a cyclist presses their feet if they want to cycle the bicycle. So what happens is, when you just press your feet here and you press it hard, the chain here, which is connected to the two clogs, it will push and it will drag, make the wheel here to turn. Hence, the bicycle will do what? Will move. So this is what happens. And this part here is what we call the mudguard. The mudguard, I said there are two. There is this one and also this one, protecting the dirty and the mud that is being picked up by the tires to come to the cyclist, the person who is doing what? Who is cycling. This is the function of what? The two mudguards. But when you look at this carefully, we also have this other one. This is called a chain guard. A chain guard. This one is the one that prevents now a cyclist, in case you are riding, you are wearing a long what? Clothes or a long trouser. It protects it from being caught by the what? By the chain. The chain can cut it and then it can maybe cause an accident. Therefore, it prevents the cyclist's clothes from being caught by what? By the chain. Even preventing it from being, the clothes from being what? Dirty. When you look at the chain, it has some oils and grease. So this can make even the clothes for the cyclist to be dirty. Hence, the function of the chain guard. Therefore, I explained about the luggage rack. This, the function is to carry what? It can carry things, any load that you want to carry, even people. I explained that we have two. I called this one a rear luggage rack because it is found at the back and it is strong enough to carry people or even other stuffs that you want to carry. I also mentioned to say sometimes you can even have a luggage rack in front. When you look at this bicycle, it also has a luggage rack in front, which is in form of what? A basket. This one can also be used to carry other stuffs. So some bicycles can have two, one in front and the other one behind. And apart from that, we have the bell. This I explained to say it's the one that is used to alert the people in case you are riding or cycling where people are in the congested place. When you look at it, that's the sound that it makes. It rings so that it alerts the people, so that they can hear to say there is a bicycle coming and they make the way for you to pass. Apart from that, we have brakes. The function of the brakes is just to stop the bicycle. It's just to stop the bicycle. So we have brakes. When you pull them like this, they will stop the bicycle from moving. For example, I'll try to. The bicycle is moving. If I just push that, it will stop the bicycle like that. So that's the function of the brakes, and they help to prevent accidents. So these are the major parts of the bicycle that I wanted you to look at. So now we are going back now in class so that I can also give you work for you to do. So I think if at all you are following and you have understood the parts of the bicycle. Okay, So this is a simple exercise that you are going to do. I want to see if indeed you were following and you have understood the parts of the bicycle and their functions. So the exercise is very simple, of which number 1, the question is saying, draw the bicycle and label its parts. So you are going to draw the bicycle and label its parts. Question number 2, explain the uses of the following parts of a bicycle. So you just tell me the uses of the parts that I've given you. Alright, you're going to tell me the function of the use of saddle, A, B, bell, C, handlebar, and D, the tubular frame. So this is simply the way that you're going to do for me in this lesson. Until next time, bye-bye.